And join us at the after.
I woke up that morning the day I died thinking, I'd like a lobster bisque. I showered, I ate breakfast. Hermia has it timed so that she finishes her cereal just as I begin mine. Something proud and untouchable about the way she eats her shredded wheat. A rebuke in the rhythm of her chewing, the curve of her back as she washes the bowl. Well, she finishes the last bite. Who washes their bowl while they're still finishing the last bite? She washes the bowl like this, trying to get out all the uneatable parts. No respect for the discarded. I ran to the subway in the rain. I forgot an umbrella, I didn't say goodbye. I thought about going back for an umbrella and maybe giving Herbie an old-fashioned peck on the cheek to soften her face. But then I remembered the curve of her implacable back, and I forged ahead in the rain, umbrella-less. You know there's so many people crushed together in the rain in the city, so many people, but no one person has an umbrella because one umbrella covers 3 bodies. And I'm thinking, why are these people all yelling into their cell phones? And where have all the phone booths gone? Well, phone booths are all dead. People are yammering into their phones, and I hear fragments of conversations about lost love and hepatitis, and I'm thinking, is there no privacy? Is there no dignity? I ran to the subway, a tomb for people's eyes. I believe that when people are in transit, their souls are no longer in their bodies. Walking, horseback, that's the speed at which the soul can stay in the body during transit. So, airports and subway stations are pretty similar to hell. People are vulnerable, disembodied. They're thinking about getting their shoes shined while they're looking for their souls as well. Ah, that's when you bomb them in transit. But I didn't know that then. I was on the subway, buried in an advertisement about a dermatology office and thinking about the sale of a cornea. What I'm thinking now, this is hindsight. My mind went dermatology office, cornea, rain, umbrella, Hermia's a bitch, lobster bisque. I wouldn't say that I sell organs for a living. I connect people. See, a man in Iran needs money real bad but has no need for his own kidney. A woman in Sydney needs a new kidney but has no need for her own cash. I put these two together. You're a sick person. You want to deal with red tape? You want to be put on hold for 7 years and listen to bad music waiting for your organs to dry out? Is that love? No. Is that compassion? No. I make people feel better about their new organs. I call it compassionate obfuscation. There are enough body parts to make everyone whole. They're just not in the right bodies yet. We need someone who can redistribute, because one umbrella covers 3 bodies. There once was a surgeon I knew who did organ extractions in China, a highly trained surgeon. He couldn't stand it after a while. Political prisoners, not even dead yet, made him sick. Now he's a sushi chef in New Jersey. I stopped by his counter one day. I ate his hamaki. Excellent. I don't dip my sashimi in soy sauce. Sushi is for adults. If you really want to taste your sushi, then taste it. Don't drown it in soy sauce. That's for children. I finished my food in silence. I thanked him in Chinese. He was a little startled because most people think he's Japanese. I said to him in Mandarin, "You don't want people to know what you did in your old line of work? Neither do I." Left it at that. Ate my sushi. You can always tell with tuna whether they slice it from the belly or from the tail end. He gave me the belly. It's the good part. But that day, the day I died, I didn't want to eat something that reminded me of body parts. I woke up that morning wanting a lobster bisque. So I got off the subway, went to the cafe, the place I always go to. There's a familiar guy behind the counter, a giant with really huge knuckles. And so I said to him, "I would like a lobster bisque." And he said, "Sorry, we're out." As if it's some casual, everyday thing to be out of lobster bisque on the day I'm going to die. As if I could come back the following week. As if it was some careless, friendly matter. "Sorry, we're out." So I said, "Did you have any 10 minutes ago?" And the giant said, "Yes." And I said, "Is anyone in this restaurant currently eating a lobster bisque?" And the giant said, "Well, yes." "Who?" He pointed to a woman in a corner, a palish woman, sort of nondescript. So I said, "I will purchase her bowl of soup." "What?" I pulled out my wallet, grabbed 100, and then I saw it. She was tilting the bowl to the side, scraping out the last bite. I watched it go into her mouth, slow motion. "Son of a bitch," I said. "I'll have the lentil. I'm used to getting what I want, but today is not my day, so I have the lentil." Lentil soup is never that good. It's only ever serviceable. Doesn't make your mouth water, does it? Lentil soup. It's a little watery and brown with hot carrots, like death. Serviceable. A little mushy and warm in the wrong places. Never as bad as you think it's going to be. Never as good either. And suddenly, I feel my heart compressing in my chest like a terrible bird, and I think, I'm finally punished. Someone is going to sell my heart to someone in Russia. And then I think, oh, use your cell phone, call your wife, tell her to give you a fine burial, organs intact. But the wife doesn't know that you sell organs for a living. So just call the wife and say goodbye. But no, she doesn't love you enough to use the right tone of voice on your deathbed. The kind of voice you want to hear. Indescribably tender? A deathbed voice? No longer holding it in. The things people hold back from each other. Whole lives. Most people give in at the last moment. But not Hermia. No, she'll be sealed up. She'll keep that last little extra bit for herself. That last little nugget of pride. That thing, that wedge, that cold wedge between... No, I can't call her. No, disappointment. So, call your mistress or your wife. No. Mother would say, "When will you die, Gordon? In a cafe." No, not your mother. Dwight? A man doesn't want to hear his brother's voice on his deathbed. He wants to hear a woman's voice. And my heart keeps heaving itself up out of my chest into my mouth, and I think, that bitch ate the last bite of my soup. This is all her fault. And then I look over at her and I think, she looks like an angel. Not like a bitch at all. And I say, good, good. I'm glad she had the last of my soup. I'm glad. And then I die.
You last night and a letterpress. I dreamed you were the letter Z.
Did? Why the letter Z?
Well, 2 lines, that's us, connected by a diagonal. Z.
Oh, Dwight.
But, Jean, if we're ever parted because of death or some other calamity and we can't recognize each other, just say Z to me. It'll be our password.
Z.
But, Jean, let's never be parted. I don't need more than 12 hours to know you. Do you? It's like we exchange bits of our souls. You have a little of mine and I have a little of yours, like a torn jacket. You gave me one of your buttons. I love you, Jean. Don't answer that.
It'll just take one second. Just... Hello? Are you sitting down? This might come as a great shock. But Gordon has passed away.
Jean, who is it?
I'm sorry, who's this? It's a work colleague. No, the funeral was yesterday. Yes, it was a very nice funeral. It was Catholic, so it wasn't very personal. Are you Catholic? Oh, good. I mean, never mind, you know.
Jean, come here.
The funeral, just 1 second. Thank you so much. Incoming. But if you'd like to send your condolences, you should send them to Harriet and Hermia Gottlieb. Their address is 111 Shank Avenue.
Jean, come here.
1 second. Oh, no, I don't know anything about a living will. I need to go, though, but I hope you have a pleasant day, in spite of the bad news. All right, goodbye.
Who is that?
Just a work colleague.
Jean, I don't think you want to get mixed up in that.
I'll be all right.
Jean, I forbid you from talking to Gordon's colleagues.
You forbid me?
Jean, it's not good for you. Get rid of the phone. It's bad luck.
It brought me to you, didn't it?
It's not good. It's life is for the living. You, me, living life. Life. Jean, if you answer that phone, I'll...
You're what?
I don't know. It'll make me sad.
Sometimes I think you don't even love your own brother. Hello? It's Hermia. She needs a lift home. Drive home after all. Are you sure? If I drive with my face. Oh God, sound like Gordon. You seem upset. Would you like to talk about it? Yes. In fact, I would. Lately, I've been thinking about the last time I had sex with Gordon. Over the last 10 years, when Gordon and I would have sex, I would pretend I was someone else. I've heard that a lot of women, in order to come, pretend that their lover is someone else, like a robber, or sort of a Greek, or a rapist, or something like that. What? Do you ever do that? No! But you know what, Jean? I pretend that I was someone else, and that Gordon was Gordon, but he was cheating on me with me. I was the other woman. And it would turn me on to know that Gordon's wife, me, was in the next room, that I, the mistress, had to be quiet so that I the wife wouldn't hear me. You and I both know that Gordon had affairs.
No.
So, the last time Gordon and I had sex, I wish I could say I wasn't pretending. And I was pretending to be a coworker of Gordon's. He brought her to dinner once. That night she was wearing a thong under a white pantsuit. Oh, I never wear a thong. It's like having a tampon up your asshole type of thing. Anyway, that last night, I imagined myself in this white pantsuit, his hands under my thong, ripping it off. I pictured what I was seeing. I pictured me looking back at Gordon. And there is more and more desire, like two mirrors facing each other. It's amazing what the mind can do. After I met you, I was convinced that you and Gordon were having an affair. So after dinner I was, you know, and I pretended to be you. And it worked!
Oh, God.
Isn't that a riot? I wouldn't normally tell you this, but I've had a lot to drink at this point.
You should know that I didn't have a sexual relationship with your husband.
Then why do you have his goddamn phone?
I was the last person with him.
And why was that, Jean?
It was a coincidence.
Gordon did not have coincidences. He had accidences. There's a difference. Give that to me. Oops, missed the call. Is this picture of the Pope still on it? From a business trip to Rome. Those mobs at the Vatican's waving their cell phones in the air, trying to capture an image of the dead Pope's face. I can still see Gordon among them saying, I have the Pope in my pocket. There it is. Dead Pope. Oh, I feel sick. I'm going to bury it, like the Egyptians.
No!
Yes. In the ground with Gordon. There was a Belgian man very recently in the news, and the undertakers forgot to remove the cell phone from the coffin, and it rang during the funeral. Just went on ringing. And the family is suing for negligence, Jean, for negligence. You have to bury it. So you bury it very deep, so you cannot hear the sound. Are you ever in a very quiet room, all alone, and you feel as though you can hear a cell phone ringing? And you look everywhere and you cannot see one, but there's so many ringing in the world that there must be some dim echo. Nothing is really silent anymore. And after a death, and almost silence, you have to bury it very deep.
Hermia, Gordon wanted me to have his phone.
Do you know what it's like marrying the wrong man, Jean? And now, even if he wasn't the man, still he was the man. And I should have spent my life trying to love him instead of wishing he were somewhere else. What did Charles Dickens say? That we drive along in our separate carriages, never to truly know each other. And then the book shuts, and then we die. Something like that.
I don't know what Charles Dickens said.
What good are you, Jean? You don't even know your ass from your Dickens. Oh, God. 2 separate carriages. And then you die.
Hermia, there's something you should know. Gordon wrote you a letter before he died. There were all these drafts on napkins, crumpled up. The waiter must have thrown them out after, the ambulance came.
What did it say?
Well, I don't remember exactly, but I can paraphrase. Alright, it said, Dear Hermia, I know we haven't always connected every second of the day. Husbands and wives seldom do. The joy between husband and wife is elusive, but strong. It endures countless moments of silent betrayal, navigates complicated labyrinths of emotional retreats. I know that you sometimes weren't there when we made love. I wasn't also. But in those moments of climax, when the darkness descended under the quickening heat of our desire, then we were in that room together. And that's all that matters. Love, Gordon.
Gordon knew that?
Guess he did.
Well, how about that? You've given me a great gift, Jean!
Nothing.
What can I give you?
Oh, nothing. That's okay.
You've given me back 10 years of my marriage. You see, after I learned that Gordon's business trips to Rome really equaled trafficking organs, you know, people never really write into Cosmo about how sexual revulsion can be caused by moral revulsion. They just tell you to change positions.
Organs?
Oh yes, Gordon and his organs. Hey, that's funny. Gordon rhymes with organ. How is it I've never noticed that before? Gordon, organ, organ, Gordon. Same letters too. O-R-G. There's no D. And God in the middle. Oh, I feel sick.
Gordon sold organs?
I thought you weren't incoming.
Yes, I thought I was too.
And you didn't know what was in the packages?
Yes, I didn't.
Well, that's funny. Well, I'm sorry to ruin your illusions about Gordon. I was never supposed to know. I told my friends he was in waste management.
Oh, God.
I remember one sad case. Gordon convinced a man in Brazil to sell his kidney to a woman in Israel. Gordon paid the man $5,000 cash. Gordon probably made $100,000 on the transaction. He bought me a yellow diamond. I think they look like something you'd find in a candy machine, but they're very rare. Anyway, so the man returned to Brazil, kidneyless, and then his money was stolen from him at the airport in Rio. Can you imagine? He wrote all these sad letters to our home. He would draw pictures of his lost kidney. It looked like a broken heart.
Hello? They said they have a kidney from Brazil. Go to the airport to Albany. She'll be there in a red raincoat. I need to go to Albany.
What?
I'll make up for all of Gordon's mistakes.
No. Too late, Jean. The corneas, the kidneys, the skin, they're the rings on my fingers and the fixtures in our bathrooms. What's done is done.
No, I can make this work. Someone's waiting for a kidney. Tell Dwight that I'll call him from Albany.
What? Jean, do you have a gun? Waiter!
Place the money on the lost luggage counter, and then place the phone on the lost luggage. And turn around, check the departure screen. and get back on a plane where you came from.
Actually, we're in a bit of a pickle. You see, where I come from, you can only give your organs away for love. I know, I mean, I'm not saying where I come from is great or anything, because, well, at the moment. But as far as organ law is concerned, it has to be for love. So if you're willing to give your kidney away for love, then we're still in business. If not, I'm willing to give my kidney away instead of yours.
What?
I know. It's so nice of you to offer, but I don't have any money for you. But I did make a small token for you. It's a lamp in the shape of a kidney. When it turns on, it says, I was willing to give you away so that someone else shall live. And when you turn it on, it's actually
Hang on.
quite...
I'm coming over to you. Cute. Our number is in that phone machine. I need those numbers.
No, you can't have it.
I advise you to hand it over quietly.
I won't. I won't.
Hand it over or I will kill you.
That's absurd. You can't have it.
This is big business, Jean. You're in over your head.
No, you're in over your head.
I didn't want to have to do this, Jean, but you're forcing my hand.
They have lobster bisque in heaven?
We're not in heaven. We're in a hell reserved for people who sell organs for a living. And the people who love them.
Gordon?
That's right. When you die, you go to the person you love the most, to the very moment, to the very place that you decided you loved them. There's a spiritual pipeline, you might say. In life, we're often separated from those that we love most, whether it be areas of timing or geography. You love me most, Jean, so you came to me.
What if the person you love most doesn't love you the most?
Oh, don't try to work it out. It's too complex. Mathematical hoopla. If there need three of Jean the beloved, then they make three Jeans. For some, this is a very simple transaction, totally reciprocal. A loves B, B loves A. However, some mothers love their children most, their children love their father best, and the father loved the family dog. Some end up in gardens. The very best parents love all their children equally, but that is rare. Rare.
What about people who love God most?
Don't know. Never met them. They go to a different laundromat.
Laundromat?
See, you only have one costume up here, whatever you died in, so you have to go to the laundromat once a week. Only you have to wash your clothes naked. It's very weird. Hundreds of people washing their socks naked.
Who did you love best?
I love myself best of all. There's a special holding pen for us, waiting for someone to join us. Like you joined me, Jean. You're my good luck.
No, I'm not dead. You're lying. You lie all the livelong day.
No, you lie all the livelong day. All those nice things you said about me. Now why'd you do that, Jean?
I saw you die. I saw your face. Oh, I wanted for you to be good.
Ah, Jean.
Gordon.
You and I, we're alike. We both told lies to help other people. You decided to help a dead man because only a dead person can be 100% good. When you're alive, the goodness rubs off you the moment you leave the house. Life is essentially one very large Brillo pad. But I digress. The point is, Gene, you and I are two peas in the proverbial pod. Incoming calls, outgoing organs. We're both just receptacles, waiting to be filled with meaning that you and I provide. It's a talent, and I admire you.
No. We're not alike. You make people into things, into parts. Don't you feel bad about that?
I feel done with it, that's all. Money and organs and trade. It's all just roadkill of the mind up here. I didn't even donate mine. They're all intact. I didn't sign that thingy on the back of my driver's license either. Felt like a suicide note to sign it. And now...
You don't need them.
Nope.
Take them out.
What?
Yeah, take them out, put them on a cloud, lower them to South America to all those sad people who gave out their own. Yeah.
Would that make you feel better, Gene?
I think it would.
All right, Gene. Can't get it out, Gene. I can't get it out. Ooh, I think I got something, Gene. Oh, I can feel it coming out. Oh. Gene, I need some help here. I can't get it out. The skin's so tough. Oh, couldn't do it.
Why did I end up in your pipeline? Why aren't I here with Dwight in a stationery store? I left him, didn't I?
You love me because I'm charismatic. More charismatic than Dwight. Even dead, apparently. I felt guilty about that for about 2 seconds, and then I moved on. Sorry, Gene. You have to be very careful about who you fall in love with and where. A nondescript cafe for all time. You couldn't have found better wall hangings or better weather. An overcast day for all time.
I liked it when you couldn't speak. Could you pretend to be dead just for a minute?
Whatever turns you on, Gene.